Hi there, whoever's on. Can you guys hear me? Can you just let me know if you can hear me? And say hello, obviously, through the chat. I'm actually here on Instagram just telling everybody that I am live. So, hi guys. For anyone that didn't ask, I wasn't able to upload a formal video last week because I was almost dying of the flu. And I don't even know what it was, if it was COVID or whatever virus it was, but it was so horrible. So I did upload on Friday this week when I did feel a little bit better. And now I'm live. I'm actually currently live right now. So go on YouTube and catch me over there for some Dominican news. All right. So I'm uploading that on Instagram. So all right. Hi everybody. Can you just let me know if you can hear me correctly? Let me see if phone is my microphone on. Live on YouTube right now. All right. Hi, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Can anybody just comment and let me know if you can hear me at all whatsoever? Okay, great. Hi there, Z Muffin. Awesome. Thank you so much for letting me know that I am heard. Thank you. How you guys doing today? Where are you guys watching from? I'm over here in my living room. I just snuck into a corner. If you guys hear any background noise, probably some of my family members, walking around. I'm literally like in a corner of my house, just trying to like have the least noise possible. But sorry if you hear any background noise in advance, of course. Where are you guys watching from? Z Muffin Man 179. Where are you watching from? Upstate New York, Upper East Side, Upper West Side. I don't really know too much about New York. I've never actually lived there before, but I have visited a lot of times. And since like the things I've heard is that the Upper East Side is like the fancy side, and the Upper West Side is like the okay middle class vibe type side. Is that correct? Oh, like upstate, like I'm sorry, I forgot. Like I was talking about like upstate Manhattan, not New York, like upstate, like Albany upstate or further up. Oh wow, that must be so beautiful over there. Further up than Albany. Oh my goodness. So Watertown, that must be so beautiful. I have never been in upstate New York. I really have not, and I wish to because a lot of my friends that have been there have come back with beautiful pictures. It's just beautiful, like the countryside, the trees. I can't imagine how beautiful that must be in fall. That must be lovely, specifically in the fall, not in the winter because I'm not too keen on cold, but the fall must be very beautiful. 1000 Island. You need to visit the 1000 Island. Oh, I never even heard of that. Let me write that down. I'm actually going to write it down on my cell phone right now. 1000 Island, New York. 1000 Island. Wow. All right. So, 1000 Island. Island. Autocorrect. And why? All right. I wrote that down. That must be so beautiful. All right, guys. So, anyways, I came on here live because I just said on Instagram, but none of you asked, and none of you probably even care about. Anyways, I just want to let you know that the reason why I did not upload a video last week was because I almost died. Like I was so sick. I had this huge virus. It was awful. Like I had the fever. I had everything you can imagine. Like bones were aching, things were aching that I didn't even know I had in my body. Like, it was horrible. I was so sick. I was not able to, I was able to record the video, but I wasn't able to like sit down and edit it. That's how bad I felt. So I ended up finishing the editing of the video on Friday, like this Friday, like before yesterday. So I uploaded that one. It's on the top 6 things that you have to come do in Santo Domingo. And I think that is really helpful for travelers that are coming here, as Santo Domingo is not the most touristy city in the country. But if you guys are planning to come to Santo Domingo, that video will give you my top 6 things that are like emblematic of Santo Domingo that I think that you must see if you come here. Obviously, it goes beyond Zona Colonial. I'm not just going to talk about Zona Colonial because that's like the most obvious thing that everybody comes to see. So I go beyond a little bit and give you some different things that you can do if you just want to do something else other than Zona Colonial. You know what I mean? But anyways, I think that's a good video. I uploaded it on Friday as soon as I was finished editing, and it hasn't gotten much traction. I think it will get a little bit more traction, but if you guys didn't see I'm sorry, I have a pillow over here. If you guys didn't see the notification, go ahead on my channel and do me a favor and watch that video because it hasn't gotten too much traction. I think it is because of the timing that I actually uploaded it in. I don't know if you guys know about this, but like the time that you upload your video is very crucial because the first 2 hours of the video is what the algorithm takes in order to like share it with more people. So if the algorithm is messing you up like the first 2 hours, like if people aren't watching the first 2 hours, then your video is gonna like go downhill. Like nobody's gonna see it because YouTube is not gonna be keen on sharing it as much. You know what I mean? So since I uploaded it in like a Friday afternoon, like 3 or 4 o'clock, I think people were like at work or something. So anyway, that's all to say. There is a video for this week and I did upload it. And this would be like the second missing video, if you know what I mean. So if you guys want to support my channel, go ahead and watch that last video so it can get a little bit more traction, please. All right. So the reason why I came on here is because there have been a little bit of news here in the Dominican Republic, and I'm going to start with like the funnier one so you guys can give me your opinion. I really need your opinion on this because it's something that has gotten the attention of like everybody and their mother in the entire country. Okay. And it's so funny because it's not even like important news, it's truly like a cultural thing. And it's, I can't believe I'm going to say this. La Casa de Alofoke. Let me know if you're on this live and you have heard of La Casa de Alofoke, because this is like a historic thing. Like when you really think about it, it's a really historic thing. And I'm gonna catch you all up. I'm gonna give you all the deets on it. But I want to know, comment on the live chat if you can, if you have heard of La Casa de Alofoke, because I'm about to like probably blow your mind if you haven't heard about this. So I'm gonna wait for any of you to like comment below or in the chat, obviously. But anyways, Casa de Alofoke is a brand new reality show, and it is live streamed 24 hours a day for 30 days. It is the first of its kind where you get to see 10 people in a house that has all the cameras in the world, and you get to see them do different things. You get to see them fight and argue. They develop challenges for them in the home, but it's like streaming 24 hours. So you get to see these people sleeping. You get to see these people eating, breathing, looking out the window, like everything. And so La Casa de Alofoke, obviously it's not my cup of tea because I am not in the urban type of the culture in DR. It was promoted and it was developed by a guy named Santiago Matias. They call him Alofoke. Since we all know English in this channel, or most of us do, you can kind of tell it's like a bad word, Fuck. I don't know, like I don't know where that nickname came from. But anyway, this guy Santiago Matias, he is a virtual prodigy in the urban space, specifically in the YouTube space and like the radio space. He has a lot of different radio programs and he uploads them on YouTube, a lot of them or most of them, I think all of them. And so he obviously generates money because of all these views. Now, La Casa de Alofoke, the interesting thing is the attention that this guy has gotten with this live streaming of just people living. And I kid you not when I tell you there are more than 1 million people watching this live stream of people even sleeping. There are people, there are people signing on to watch this Casa de Alofoke. Alofoke, you spell it Alofoke. Alofoke, just like the way it sounds. So if you want to look that up, you can go and watch it live. It's right now. It started on August 11th, which is my birthday, by the way. Thank you. I just turned 30 something. And it started on my birthday on August 11th, and they started streaming it for 24 hours straight, and it goes for 30 days. So mid September, I believe it ends. And so they have these people, these are like 10 influencers of different countries. There's like a Colombian guy, there's like an actress from Puerto Rico, there's an OnlyFans girl. There are different types of influencers in there. They have challenges that they have them do during the day just so they can generate you know, interest, I guess. But there are people watching these people even sleeping like at 2 and 3 in the morning, which is kind of creepy. But what I wanted to talk about it is because first of all, it's the first in its kind here in the DR, and I think that's pretty amazing. Coming from a guy that is not rich from birth, this guy Santiago Matias has actually gotten his platform from from zero to like the millions of followers that he has now. And so a lot of people are curiously watching this show with a lot of interest. And what generates the laughing aspect at me is because one of my family members was talking to me about this and he was like, "Oh my God, that's so crazy. Like, I want to watch this. Like, what is it?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like, the United States is like the mother and the father of reality TV show, and they highly edit those shows. Like, the American reality shows are highly edited to the point where they actually give people the cues on what to say and they actually re-record some scenes. So I personally did not think that this show or this live stream format was going to generate a lot of attention, just because I didn't think that people were so interested in having just people live, like watching people just live. I was like, no, you need editing. You need to have them do something. You need to have the interest. You need to have the angles and the people, like the testimonials that all of the American reality TV shows have. Um, and so it was just so interesting to me because it did generate a lot of viewership. It's generating a lot of viewership. And the winner of this, and the important thing is also like the innovative aspect of the show is the fact that people actually are over there like voting for the people that should stay on the show or be voted out. So you, through your super chats, you can actually vote out or vote in some people, and apparently the viewers are the ones that are going to pick their favorite, and at the end the winner gets 1 million. Let me see, 1 million pesos. Yeah, it's 1 million pesos for the money prize, and they also get a 2025 brand new Mercedes Benz. So all of these people are basically competing for that, and they're letting people in on their life for 24 hours a day for 30 days. Let me see. Okay, yeah, Mabelina, you got it. Casa de Alofoke. Yep, that's right. Haven't heard of it. It sounds like the show Big Brother. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. They you literally doing the promo. They need to cut you a check. Yes, they do. I could be like their English correspondent if they want. I'm not really I'm truly not into that urban like lifestyle. I don't even know who half of these people are, like La Gigi, La Fifi, like all these influencers, random influencers. I have no idea who they are. Just obviously I researched them for you. They are influencers that are some are Dominican, some are from, Colombia. They're different countries, Puerto Ricans, they're like OnlyFans people, there are urban singers and all that stuff. So they all by themselves have generated some following, so which is probably why they have a lot of viewership. But the format of this live and the format of this reality show is quite new to Dominican Republic, which is why I believe it is worthy of being in this channel live thing that I'm doing. So yeah, that's very interesting. I would love to know your thoughts. If you can go ahead and Google it on another window and watch it and let me know what you think. I follow several reality TV shows in Spain, Argentina, Mexico, USA, but it's kind of boring to me. Yeah, I can kind of get that, Mabelina. I just catch up on some funny clips, so that's about it. I give props for Foka. Yeah, I give him props too for the brainstorming and the idea behind it. Mabelin also says he had mentioned that once he saw Caramelo, who won La Casa de los Famosos, their recent season, that's how he came up with the idea. Yeah, he probably got inspired back in 2020, back in 2003, like in 2003. There was a TV show here that was called La Casa de Cristal. I don't know if any of y'all remember that, but okay, Fred Wang. Let me put you up to date, Fred Wang. We're talking about just current events here in the DR. So far, we have been talking about La Casa de Alofoke, which is a brand new live stream reality TV show, and how it is innovative and how it has captured the attention of more than 1.3 million Dominicans. So, oh, thank you. Thank you for my happy belated birthday wishes. Thank you so much. And so I don't want to miss your last comment. Fred Wang says, please explain why 70% of Americans and 90% of Republicans support law enforcement. And here in the DR, support for La Policía Nacional is very limited or perhaps non existent. Well, since we did finish the first topic, which is La Casa de Alofoke, you guys can keep commenting on whatever you want on the comments. I'm going to talk about Policía Nacional. What has happened historically with Policía Nacional? First of all, the history of the Dominican Republic is a little bit complex. But the thing is that mainly when we had the dictatorship under Leonidas Trujillo's back in like the 30s, 40s, and 50s, he gained power through the military. So he was first head of the military, and that's how he gained power, was through the military. So a lot of military people were basically his pawns for them to, you know, do whatever he wished. That's first of all. So people started losing their confidence, like after he was killed and everything. People lost a little bit of confidence in the military because they were basically there to do his bidding, to do Trujillo's bidding, which was the worst dictatorship in like Latin America. And so that's historic. That's a historic fact. But then what happened historically through Policía Nacional? Oh, thank you, Jay Bird. I love your channel. Thank you. I love you so much. So later on, what happened was that our national police was formed by young people who were not specifically trained in like doing police work. They're not professionals, and they have very, very low income. So La Policía Nacional has not gotten like a dignified enough income. So what has happened throughout the years, from what I can tell, like I haven't read this on any newspaper or anything. Well, yeah, it has come up in certain newspaper articles. But the thing is that those policemen and those police women sometimes don't have enough money. So they kind of stop you for nothing and they kind of ask you for money. And there's a lot of talk about some of them being corrupt. And so a lot of Dominicans have lost their trust in Policía Nacional throughout the years. A few years ago, Abinader, which is our current president, announced that there was a plan to kind of reform our police and to give them better. He has given them better salaries, which is a good thing. He has also started some type of plan to like reform them and give them better training so we can kind of be prouder of our national police. And so there are different things going on. They changed their uniform so they can no longer identify with like what happened back in like Balaguer's time and Trujillo's time. So they have like a new fresh face for the public. Also, the local traffic cops, they were a separate entity. They were a completely separate entity before, and they were introduced into the police force in some way. Like there's still the Heset, which is like the police force that covers the streets, if you know what I mean. But they were incorporated, so now people have to respect a little bit more the traffic cops because they are cops now. Like they're police. They're part of the police system overall. Before they were like a separate entity. So the history with the police is a little bit iffy, a little bit hectic. It has gotten a little bit of a reform recently. Still, there's a lot to be done, but basically that's why people don't trust the national police here in the Dominican Republic. I mean, there are a lot of police people that are very good. I'm not saying that they're not, but what happened with like corruption in the police force and like bad training and like police people trying to get money off of normal citizens just for doing their jobs, that's the thing that has a lot of Dominicans, kind of iffy about that. But we're getting better. We're doing, each president does a little bit. And I'm hopeful that someday we're going to have like a police force that is like, yes, we're going to be like super proud of it and like notice that they're like more trained. All right. So, Mabelina says, a friend of mine was shot by the police. Ooh, I'm so sorry about that. Because he didn't want to stop and give them the documents. He was parked outside his girlfriend's apartment speaking with her, and they just showed up. That's the type of thing that gets us Dominicans kind of like scared of, even stopping sometimes for the police. Notice you said you don't really follow the urban scene. Can you talk more about the other scenes of DR? I try. What other scenes can I talk about? It's like Dominican Republic has two types of people. I think just like probably US also does, and I probably a lot of other countries. But here we have like poppies and wawawas. That's that's a matter for like another entire video. But the thing is, it's like there's like an urban type of culture, like the people that are like the gangster, like the lifestyle that's like the reggaeton and all that stuff, like with all the chains, and that's like the urban lifestyle, right? And then we have like the poppies, the ones that are like playing tennis and going golfing and like no, I'm not really talking about conservative culture. I'm talking like the mannerisms and the things that each part of the culture enjoy. The urban is like more of like the rappers and the reggaetoneros and all that stuff, the people that are like with all the chains and like that type of thing. And then we have like the poppy lifestyle, which is like the people that are more of like the tennis and the what do you call it? The ballets, and they go to watch, different musical expositions in the national theater, and they go watch the plays, and those would be like more poppy type of culture. So when I say I'm not into the urban scene, is like I don't know any of like the urban singers. I'm not really into like alofoke type of, if you've ever watched Alofoke shows, they talk about like the urban scene and like the people that are in the urban culture, like the rappers and like the baby mama of the rappers. And like they're talking all about these people that I don't even know who they are. So that's what I mean by that. It doesn't mean I'm specifically Poppy. I guess you can call me Poppy. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. I won't get mad at that. But I'm not over here playing tennis or paddle. I'm just like living my middle class life, like I'm over here, but like the urban the urban scene is not my knowledge. Poppy, more well-to-do, high class. Yeah, you can kind of say it. But Poppy, when you talk about Poppy and Wawawa, you can make the match with like the money, but it's also you can be poppy and not be rich. You can be poppy and enjoy like the theater and the arts and not do like the barrio scene, like the and not do like the urban reggaetonero type of scene, that type of thing. So it's a matter of poppy wawa is a matter more of a culture rather than how much money you earn. But it does have correlation. It does have a lot of correlation. Um, From an Americanist perspective, the relationship between law enforcement and the community is absolutely essential. 100%. I believe that is so, so true. I trust no police officer, Mabelina. Well, what can I say? I have never gotten any negative experience on my own with regards to policia. Um, Never at all whatsoever. I actually feel safe. If you guys go to Zona Colonial, which if you are not new to the channel, you would know it's one of my favorite parts of Santo Domingo. You would see that there are police cops in every single corner. I completely trust those people. Like if I feel safe when I see those people. So I'm thankful that I don't have any negative experience to talk about Policía Nacional. I have only good things to say. Unfortunately, I do read the newspapers and I do read what other people say, like Mabelina just said. She has gotten negative experiences. So it's like I I take that into account as well. So I don't trust them blindly. But so far, since I have gotten good experiences with La Policia, then I'm not too afraid of them. I actually feel safer when they are there. I thought you would say live at 6:30. Yeah, I was live at 6:30 DR time. You know, I live in Santo Domingo. I'm not sure where you live, but 6:30 DR time, I was live. I think it was 6:31 by the time that I was live. Anyway, guys, another piece of, let me see. I'm sorry. I'm just reading the comments. I want to talk with you guys. I'm a mix of both, but I like classical music, languages, world history, geography. Many people who go viral are not bringing much to the table. That is so true, Mabelina. That was another aspect that I did not talk about when talking about Casa de Alofoke, is the fact that unfortunately a lot of those influencers that went on there, they're not doing much for like the betterment or like the improvement. I'm sorry, the improvement of society. They're more like just people there to grab your attention, you know? That's that's basically it. Basically, like they're not people that are out here, you know, doing classical music or teaching languages. They're over here like some of the girls on there were like OnlyFans models. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, unfortunately, what captures our attention is not, you know, the things that are gonna make society better. Okay, so um I was gonna say the second news, Dominican news that I was gonna talk about was the. I want to know if you guys live in DR. What has your experience been with los apagones? Los apagones, señores. The apagones are the power outages that we are getting so far. They have reached the news because I don't know if you guys remember that there was like a storm last week. The storm's name was Erin, and it was like at one point was like hurricane category 5. Fortunately, never reached the DR, but we did get rainfall. But anyway, back over that week when we had Erin going around the Caribbean, there was so many power outages that at first I'm like, oh, that's just the power outages because of the wind, because of Erin, because of the storm. But then Erin came and went, and there was no damages to DR, thankfully. But then the power outages keep happening. It was so much so that the president himself felt that he had to address the power outages that were constantly happening in the DR. And 2 days ago, there was actually a statement that was put out by the people responsible, and they're saying that the power outages that are in DR were due to like the power outages right now because we're in 2025 and we still don't have, you know, specific legit um, power here in DR. We still get power outages, which blows my mind how in 2025, the year of our Lord, we still have power outages. But anyway, that's another story. I can maybe research that for you guys if you guys are interested on the history of our electricity sector and why we still get power outages. But these power outages, the one that we've been getting frequently in the last week or two, have been due to a lot of factors. So first of all, there are new wattages. I don't know how to say that in Spanish, like megavatios and all this like power that is being put into the grid, but it hasn't come into implementation. So they haven't implemented those power watts. I don't know how to say that in English. If anyone of you can enlighten me in the comments, I would appreciate it. But anyways, those watts have not been introduced into the grid, and that's why the demand has been so high. Also because of the heat. Since we are a very hot country, people love their AC, and since we have been getting so much heat in here, a lot of people have been turning more their fans on, their AC on. So the demand has gone up while the power introduced into the electric grid has gotten the same. So to fill that void between demand and supply, the government is going to implement in the next few weeks a lot of more energy watts introduced into the system. That's what they had explained to us. Also, there were a lot of power generator stations that have gone down because of maintenance. And that's another reason why the power outages are so crazy these days. And in my home, I remember that we did have a few power outages one day. Like there was one day specifically when we had power outages like the entire day since the nighttime all the way until like the afternoon. We had like un arbolito, like a Christmas tree going on and off, on and off, on and off the entire day. But thankfully, I live in a sector where the light barely leaves. Like we rarely have power outages, to be honest. But I want to know if you guys live here in the DR, what has been your experience in the last few weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks, with the power outages? Because I did get that one day where I can say, oh my goodness, this is so bothersome. In my home, we only have an inverter, un inversor. I'm not even sure if inverter is the right word for it in English. We have an inversor with two batteries. So we don't even have like four batteries or anything like that. With our inversor, when the lights go out, we can power a TV, we can power a few fans around the house, probably two or three, for a few hours, and that's it. We cannot, like with an inverter, you cannot turn on AC or anything at all like that. You can't turn on anything that has to do with heat, like a blow dryer or an iron, a steam iron, nothing like that. You can just turn on like basic little things. We cannot turn on the what do you call it, the refrigerator. We can't turn any of that on. So we are expecting when the light goes out in my house, we're like, okay, let's turn off all the light bulbs we can so we can save the energy in our little two batteries, and that's it. But thankfully we were only affected that one day, and I attribute it to Aaron, that was like the day that Aaron was here, and it was like a lot of wind. But thankfully it did not pass beyond that. Let me read the comments a little bit. So we got an inversor, unfortunately, and we are fortunate in that sense. Yeah. Besides living, it's still annoying. Yeah, it is still annoying. Like, if our light goes out at night, it hurts me to the bone because, like I said, I can't turn on my AC without the power. So if my power goes out, I'm only over here with like a fan, and that's not gonna cut it for me. Okay. I like sleeping with my AC. So anyway, let's see. Same thing in Las Terrenas, Mabelina. I guess the tourist sectors here in the DR may be better with the supply. Yeah, that may be it, Fred. That might be it. I heard power was out for 2 days and are still out in some areas. Yeah. Oh, and another thing that came on the news yesterday, right yesterday, was that the president said that there was an intentional fire near some of the power generators, and like more than 20 communities down in Barahona are out of power because of those intentional fires, and they are investigating it. So there has been, evil hands also in some of the power outages around town these days. So that's horrible. Um, I never understand why they don't create solar farms around the island to alleviate these power shortages. They have actually. There are a lot of wind farms, and there are some solar farms in a lot of rural communities, actually. Um, I work with a lot of like development projects and things like that. So I know a little bit about those projects that have been developed. But a lot of foreign investment has gone into giving power through solar and wind energy in a lot of rural towns. And we do have generators through like wind farms. We don't have enough current in our, we do live in an island, but like the water current isn't strong enough to generate water energy. So we do have the solar farms, some, not too much, not too many, and specifically in like rural areas. And we do have large, very large wind farms. So still, it's not enough, especially now in the summer when we turn on our ACs from like the morning time. It's, it's a little bit higher, the demand. So the power went out once when we were on the Sky Tram. Oh no. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. You were out in Puerto Plata. Is that Puerto Plata, right? That's crazy. That must be so scary. All right, so it says some areas support solar farms. Yeah, that's right. That's what I was talking about. There are a lot of little projects around the DR. My uncle got it, but it's a hassle because they don't want people to get such benefit. Yeah, that's another thing. There's a lot of regulation when it comes to solar panels. Like if I want to put solar panels in my home, I'm probably gonna have to jump through hoops. You can do it as a citizen, but you have to get a lot of permits, you have to sign a lot of paperwork, and even so they don't want you to put them there, and it's a whole thing. I don't know if you guys know Sergio Carlo, which is a local communicator. He talks on the news and he has like a podcast and things like that. He has talked about how difficult in some communities in Punta Cana has been to get solar panels. Like they prohibit it in some communities, and it's just crazy. It's clean energy, and he doesn't understand why he has to jump through such hoops to be able to just get normal solar energy. But that's another thing that I believe it has to do with different interests of powerful people that are at hand, and they want to prohibit people from having that clean energy. That's just me, analyzing the situation. I haven't, I don't have any proof as to what I'm saying, but I think they are powerful people that are benefiting from just you paying your local energy from Edesur, Edeste, or whatever. So that's another hassle. Some let me see. Perhaps they're concerned that the sun panels might get stolen. No, I don't think that's gonna be a concern. Yeah, there's like a limit and regulations. Yes, exactly. There are limit and regulations of to allow X quantity of houses with such kind of electricity. No le conviene a ciertas personas tener que todo el mundo tenga paneles solares. Like a lot of people, is not of their convenience when citizens have solar power because it makes it all on their own. They don't pay the EDESTE, the EDESUR to get you that power. So I think there are definitely interests of people. Generally, the experience has been very positive in the Europe, but then I am here as an expat. Well, I'm so glad to know that, Fred. I'm glad that you are having such a good experience. And I'm happy to know that you're having a great life in DR. Like, I'm seriously so happy. I'm glad that this channel has brought a community of Dominicans and expats all together. And I can tell you, Fred, I'm super happy when different people from different countries come to my country and like enjoy their life here, because it just makes me feel so proud of DR. You can call me soft, you can call me, corny or whatever, but that's just me. Like I'm truly happy when other people can adopt my country and my flag and enjoy their life here. It's just a very, very nice experience for me. Like I truly feel proud. Of course, this is a country that has so much work to do, but when other people from other countries move here, I think that there are other brains involved in the development of the DR in itself. So I don't know, Fred, in what capacity you are in here, but like just having you here gives us another type of human capital in the country. I'm pretty sure that even if you're not working, even if you're retired, you still come here and pay taxes when you buy things in the grocery store. And that's help. You're helping out our economy in some way. So that makes me truly happy, to be honest. Mabelina says, I love my country. I just wish people were more focused and not so corrupted. Yes, me too. And that is honestly, guys, I'm going to be really, really honest because I have a video that I've wanted to make ever since I started my channel. And it's the reason why I live here in DR and not the US. The reasons, all my immigration history, like when I went to DR, when I went to the US, why I came back. Like I want to make like video about that because a lot of Dominicans see an American visa like an escape. Oh, me voy, no vuelvo. But they don't realize that life in the US is not that easy at all, like, especially for immigrants. So, anyway, I want to make a video about that. But what I wanted to say is that um, one of the reasons that I stayed here in the Dominican Republic is because I know that there are things that we have to work on. I know that there are things that Dominican Republic needs to do better to be a better country in general. And since I feel so identified with my country and my culture, one of the things I don't want to do while living here is make DR better, just like by living here, because I believe I'm not corrupted and I'm trying to be a good citizen over here and I'm trying to do better by my country. I'm trying to do good by my flag and my history and by my parents and grandparents. And so one of the reasons that I love living here is because I think that I can help my country in a little grain of sand that I can put on here just by being here and being a good citizen and raising my family here and all of those things. So I like that DR is a work in progress and that I get to be part of that in some capacity or other. Let me see. It sure is not easy in the US. It is not, especially for immigrants. It's a hard knock life. Not a lot of immigrants go over there and they're just like living in peace. Oh my goodness, so wonderful. No. I mean, it is a good like the US has a good system and they have a lot of great things and that country is so wonderful, beautiful. There are so many good things to say about the US, but we can definitely not say that if you go there as an immigrant it's going to be rainbows and ponies. It's a very hard work. It's a lot of work. I know some people in the US that as immigrants have to work 3 and 4 shifts just to make ends meet. So I'm over here working my 9 to 5. I do YouTube as, a side job, I guess you can say it. And I really do enjoy my life. I get to go to the beach any weekend I want. By the way, guys, I have an upcoming trip to Jarabacoa, which is a lovely little town up in the mountains soon. I'll definitely be blogging for you guys so you guys can see what Jarabacoa is all about. And anyway, what I wanted to say is that like I get to go out any weekend I want. I live an island life. Like everything is chill and relaxed, even though, I do live in the city, so you get a little bit stressed out with city life and family life and all that stuff, but you get my drift. Yeah, Dominicans think there's money growing on trees. Exactly right. I lived in Europe, but the environment here is just another level. Yep. I hate the loudness, but it's like we still got peace and can walk around without worries about gunshots. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness. If I'm to choose, I prefer the mess we got over here over the danger abroad. 100%, Mavelina. 100%. Claro y pelado, jalabacoa. Yes, I've heard of it. Oh my goodness. So, definitely, guys, like with all our mess, I'm going to end it on this note, guys, because we've been streaming now for 44 minutes and I thank y'all for being here. But I'm going to end it on this note. And with all the mess that we got and all the chaos that we got and all the issues that DR has, I still love this country. It's like a little gem on earth. It's like a little piece of heaven on earth. And I am proud to be Dominican. I'm proud to live here. And I'm happy to be able to um, aportar. I don't know how you say that in Spanish, but like to give anything that I have to like help out the country or just be a good citizen in the country. Like I don't have to be out here, being a president. I'm that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just being here and being a good citizen and trying to give ideas and good ideas and influence others to be good citizens as well and like respect the laws and the traffic signs and all that type of thing. I think little by little we can make DR better. But even with all the mess and chaos, yes, I would live here 100%. Obviously, I'm living here. But like I love living here. So, yeah. The presidente doesn't taste the same in the USA if you can find it. Food is so much better, healthier for you in DR. Yes, that's because our chain of healthy stuff, like our chain of food is not so large. A lot of our, actually, I was reading a report on this that Dominican Republic is actually auto-sustained with the food we get here, like with the food we cultivate here, we can actually feed ourselves. So more than 80 or 90% of the food we eat here in the DR is made in DR. So that made me really happy to know that we are auto-sustainable, which means our food is fresher because our country is small. So if you have, chickens that are coming from a farm in Bonao, it's only an hour away. It's not like the US where you have something growing in California, like an orange from California, going all the way to Massachusetts. It takes like a few weeks to get there, like across country. You know what I mean? So the chain of the food chain over there is, it takes a lot longer. Food has to be stored like frozen longer and things like that. Over here we get like fresh chicken that just got killed off the farm of some guy. So it's a lot fresher, which is probably why it's better for you. Cheese tastes different, avocados taste different, everything tastes fresher. It's a vibe, guys. It's a vibe. um, I hope to get to Jarabacoa someday myself. Looking forward to your content from that town. Yes, Jarabacoa is a little gem. So I'm looking forward to it as well because I have a long time without going to Jarabacoa. Thank you for your content. Thank you for being here. Not as small as the adjacent British Isles here in the Caribbean. Yeah, it's not as small as the British Isles. Like I've been to small, small little islands. Like I've been to St. Lucia. That is small. Like you can go around the entire country in like 3 hours. And I've been to Aruba, which is also extremely small. DR is not that small, but it's smaller than like the US. You know what I mean? So yeah, guys, I'm gonna end it here. I thank you so much for joining me. Wow, we've got a lot of people over here. Me encanta tu canal. Inicio de semana. That's a good screen name. Inicio de semana. Gracias, gracias. Guys, I'm gonna log out now. I'm gonna thank you so much for your por tu asistencia, for your assistance to my live. And thank you and forgive me for not uploading last week. Like I said, I was really, really sick, but thankfully I am a lot better. I still have a little bit something on my nose. I don't know if you guys can tell by the way I'm talking, but anyway, um, I hope to feel completely 100% better by the time I get to Jarabacoa next weekend. So, guys, this is me signing out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Yes. Oh, yes. Will you save this live? Definitely. This is going on my channel, so you guys can go and rewatch it if you want. Bye, guys. Thank you.